men need it more than women. That is the bitter truth. For as much as feminists would like to deny the fact, men biologically don't just want but need physical intimacy to function properly. Medical research statistics show that through all phases of life, be it their teens, adulthood, middle age, and old age, men possess ridiculously high levels of testosterone compared to women. Post-teens, an adult man's testosterone drastically rises, while women only show a slight rise. It must also be noted that during this period, a man's testosterone is at its highest throughout his life. Stats for these levels are mentioned in the description below if you're a nerd like me. But what is also crucial to highlight is that during old age, when a man's testosterone is at its lowest, it is still higher than the peak levels a woman possesses in her lifetime. Testosterone does start declining post-middle age for men, but not to the extent it falls for postmenopausal women. So it comes as no surprise that men, even in their later stages of life, show a much higher libido compared to women. This lack of testosterone doesn't just result in a reduced libido in women, but also affects their musculoskeletal strength, which makes them intimately coy and sexually weak. Unfortunately, this not just affects women, but also men who suffer directly because men need physical intimacy to maintain healthy hormones, avoid prostate problems, lower blood pressure, and boost immunity. In addition, doing the act also helps men release feel-good neurotransmitters, helping them experience better mood and a sense of emotional security, acceptance, and love in a relationship. Also, it is outright painful, and I mean physically painful, for a man to not get any action. Women too are affected when they choose not to be physically intimate with a man, as it helps women with feelings of pleasure, releasing endorphins, managing pain and headaches, while also making them feel desired, fun, and confident, in addition to the sense of security it gives a woman when she has a partner to hold on to. A study published in the Journal of Breast Cancer Research also found that women who make love frequently have a lower risk of developing breast cancer. Nonetheless, lack of intimacy pertaining to the points mentioned clearly doesn't affect women as much as it affects men. Which is why we see so many dissatisfied randy men all around, whereas women are generally okay with extended periods of celibacy. And so, it should come as no surprise when a woman says no to making love most of the time. But eventually, her partner is going to look for other avenues to fulfill his biological needs. And God forbid, if he doesn't find them, he starts resorting to criminal and violent measures, which is starting to become common practice not only in second or third world countries, but also amongst the developed nations. And this is taking into consideration the fact that modern women are simply choosing not to be in relationships. And even if they do, they are simply not bonking their men as much as men would want them to. And this knowledge was so common throughout history, it needn't even be imparted to people, which is why polygyny was absolutely fine, because women knew that as long as her man is providing her with emotional and physical security, providing for her financially, bringing food to the table, it simply didn't matter if he had other women in his life. And very conveniently, polygyny started being frowned upon only as recently as when Western political power began gaining influence over the world.